Alright guys, today we're here to talk about my Outrun Arcade1up machine. I was looking forward to doing this mod and I was waiting for a while here because there was a couple of missing pieces that I needed to finally finish it. Finally received them and I'm excited to show you guys the finished product. So this is a PC based mod. So it is running a PC with an NVIDIA GPU inside, a 1030 to be exact. And it is just arcade racers. This is a fully built out build from Retro Lizards Arcades, which we'll get into here in a minute. With over 140 arcade racers, so you won't find any console games or anything like that on here, but you will find arcade racers, and this thing has been fully modded out with a PC inside. Everything else is stock, as you see. The wheel I kept, the buttons I kept, everything else is being reused, the pedals and everything like that. We just added a PC into the mix. Everything else inside it, as far as the controls go, is stock. So I'm excited to show you guys this one because I've been excited to finally have a machine in the home that gives me a wheel that lets me play all these fantastic arcade racers, and I want to show you guys how it turned out. So let's go ahead and get into the video.
Gaming tech, eating brekkie is the gaming tech. Going for a brekkie is the gaming tech. Gaming techie is the gaming tech. Gaming techie.
Alright guys, so here's my racing build, my PC racing build on my Outrun cabinet. So before we get into some gameplay, what I did want to do is show you guys a little bit of the menu and give you guys an idea of what games come on here if you guys do the exact same thing. So again, I'm using Retro Lizards Arcades as the system here. He has a racing build that he has, so you guys can find the link in the description below if you want to get a racing build from him. He can send it to you on an external or something like that, and you can just plug it into your PC and you'll have all these racing games set up, and he can assist you if you have any issues mapping or any stuff like that. I've used them in the past, and he does fantastic work. He's done my light gun build. He's done my racing build. He did my Star Wars build as well, and he's always been there supporting and having any issues that I have. He's always been there to respond with any of that, and most of the issues get resolved, and then I'm having fun, and I haven't had to contact him in a while because things just work as they should after we get some of the initial quirks out of the way with my particular system. So here's Outrun here with his system here, and you can see that this is only a racing build that is based on arcade games like I talked about, so you won't find any consoles on here. So you can see my first category here is arcade, then you have Atmos Wave, and then you have the Sega Model 3, then you have the Sega Naomi, and then you have Techno Parrot, and then you have Triforce. So let's go ahead and just dive into the arcade build first here. So you can see here some of the games that are going to be on here. You have Power Drift, Racing Hero, Rad Mobile, Rad Rally, Radical, Rally Bike, Rally X, Wave Racer, Ridge Racer 2. All of these different games that are on here: Riding Fight, Riding Hero, River Patrol, Road Blasters, Road Fighter, Rough Racer, San Francisco Rush, Rush Hooks, Spirit, Scramble Spirits, all these different ones on here. I'm not going to name every single one, but I will go through this whole list so you guys can at least see them and know what to expect. Spy Hunter 2, Stadium Cross, a lot of different games on here. Turbo Force, Versus Bike, World Rally, ABC Cop, ABP All Points Bulletin, Buggy Boy, California Speed, Cisco Heat, Cruisin' USA and Cruisin' World. Like I said, a lot of different arcade racing here that you can expect. All the games that should be on here are on here. Hot Chase, Off Road, Lucky Wild, New Rad Rally X, of course, Outrun itself, and Outzone, Outrunners, Pole Position 2, Power Drift, Racing Hero, and then back to Rad Rally. So that's the arcade section here. Atmos Wave is also on here. Like I talked about, there's a couple on here. There's Maximum Speed and Faster Than Speed, so there's those two on there. Then there is the Model 3. There is Dirty Devils. There's the Harley Davidson and LA Riders, Magical Truck Adventure, Scoot Race Deluxe, Sega Rally Championship 2, Daytona USA 2, and Daytona USA Power Edition. Then you also have Sega Naomi. You got Crazy Taxi. Then you have Ferrari F355 Challenge. And then F355 Challenge 2. And then 18 Wheeler. Technoparrot, of course, my favorite section in most of my builds because, again, Technoparrot is an emulator that kind of emulates games that were in the arcades that are now something that we can play at home. So, of course, this is my favorite category. So you got Outrun 2, R-Tunes, Sega Race TV, Sega Racing Classic, Sega Rally 3, Sonic All-Stars Racing Arcade, Wacky Races, Snowcross, Batman, Battle Gear 4, Chase HQ 2, Daytona Championship USA, Dirty Driving, Cars, Fast and Furious Supercars, the Fast and the Furious, Fast and Furious Drift, Ford Racing, Galago Championship Tuning Race, Grid, GTI Club, H2 Overdrive. You know, again, a lot of fantastic games on here. Initial D Racing 4, Initial D Racing 5, 6, 7. Then you got Nicktoons Nitro, and then back to Outrun 2. So that's basically all the racers, all the arcade racing games that are on here. So you guys can get an idea of what you guys can expect if you get a system like this. Like I said, the link will be in the description below, so you guys can, if you guys don't want to source these games out yourself and you want it to be kind of as much as plug and play as it could be and have some support on the side in case you have issues with the controls and stuff, this is a great system. He's done a really good job with my other ones, and now this is his latest with his racing build, arcade-based, and I'm really, really happy with this. So let's go ahead and get into some gameplay now so you guys can see how this actually works here. One of the ones that I did forget to talk about before, actually, is Triforce, and Triforce we can't forget. I almost forgot. Mario Kart, Arcade Racing, Arcade GP is on here as well. So, forgot to bring that one up before. So, actually, let's start off with that one, actually, just to show you guys how that one works here. You can see here we're on the main menu here. I can go ahead and hit the pedals. Of course, you can select your character with the wheel just by moving it. I will go ahead and leave Mario.
Mario! Here we are live from Yoshi Park Course 1. This special course passes players through the attractions of
And here we are with Mario Kart.
This broadcast is brought to you by Justin Berti.
For any of you guys who played this in the arcades, you recognize that announcer. He's an announcer on here.
A great start.
I always recognize him from the arcade when I used to play this game in the arcades all the time, and now I'm able to play this at home here.
Mario, shoot, racing, bingo! Mario is now in the lead. Mario picks up points in one stretch. Mario, tires are now squared. Mario takes a shot. Mario is now in the lead.
You can see this game works really well with the wheel. Having no issues playing it. And this is just another great arcade racing game. And what's cool about this one, of course, is that it's very different than, you know, the regular Mario Karts that we're all used to, because the tracks are all designed for the arcade, so they're different than stuff that we've played before. Let's go ahead and now look at an arcade game that we have on here. And you can see here, as I've been scrolling through the list this whole entire time, that I scroll through my games by just hitting, I have it mapped to this, so I just go up and down with this if I want, which is what I'm doing here. Let's go ahead and do some cruising. And I do have my coin button mapped to this yellow button up here. Again, these are all the stock buttons that were on here, just to give you guys an idea. I have the coin button here. These two buttons are used for the game. And then there's a button, of course, on the handle that you can also map. Up and down, of course, is mapped in certain games, depending on if some of these games have the high and low function sometimes. Of course, I use the green button as start. And then I actually use the volume up control, since I use that stock and I didn't need to clip any wires or anything. I just use that to map that. And something I should mention here in the video is that I actually got this, I modded this whole thing by using Beat Kong's video, and again, that will also be in the description below, because I didn't actually, I didn't actually do this myself. That's why I'm not giving you a full-on tutorial, because I didn't follow just me. You know, I used his video and he did a fantastic job already, so I wasn't going to make another tutorial video, because I thought he made a fantastic job. He did a fantastic job with the video already, and that's exactly what I followed, and it was easy enough to get this all working. So if you guys want to do this yourself, he has a great tutorial that you can follow that's linked in the description down below. So here we are with Cruising Worlds. You can tell I'm a really good driver. Yep, definitely a really good driver. But I'll never forget playing this game in the arcades either. I mean, cruising is a game that we're all too familiar with, especially nowadays when the new Switch game came out for the sequel of this game, which is fantastic. And I'm just running into everything on the road here. I can't even get past the car that's sitting in the middle of the road right now. This game is definitely a little hard to control, not with the wheel, but just in general of getting used to, you know, playing this and actually being good at it. But it's a lot of fun to play, and like I said, it brings me back to the arcades and stuff like that. So yeah, that is Cruising World. Let's go ahead and show off some Sega Naomi here with Crazy Taxi. Here we are at the main menu of Crazy Taxi. We can go ahead and select our character here.
All right, let's get it on. Hey, it's time to make some crazy money. Are you ready? Here we go. Hey, come here.
Thanks. Listen to the cable car. Up on the hill.
Here we go.
There we are with some Crazy Taxi. The classic we all know and love.
Go straight.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah, hey.
Didn't expect to get here so fast.
Sexy. Come on, you're in a hurry, right?
What's a hurry? Get a kill. Just go.
So you can see this one also works really well on the wheel. Also works really well on this PC here.
Go that way, baby.
A lot of fun to have Crazy Taxi on an Outrun cab like this now. To be able to play all these arcade classics and not just Outrun. So yeah, there's some Crazy Taxi. On to my favorite category, and the last one we're going to talk about here is, of course, Techno Parrot, where some of my favorite games actually sit. So let's go ahead and do a couple of these here. We'll start off, we'll leave Outrun 2 for last because that is basically, you know, the Outrun cab. Of course, you can play the classic one, just like, you know, the arcade version that came on this machine originally. That was in the arcade section. You could play that, but I'll leave Outrun 2, the new version, for the very end here. So let's go ahead and just play a couple of the ones that I really, really like. So, for example, this Daytona Championship USA is fantastic, so let's go ahead and check this one out. So here we are here. We can select the track. I'm just going to do the Daytona International Speedway here.
Speedway. Please choose manual or automatic transmission.
We could do manual if we want to, so let's go ahead and do manual here just to show.
Ladies and gentlemen.
And this is one of the games where I have the shifter here on the left, on the right-hand side ready. Soundtrack in this game kicks ass, of course. You can see I'm shifting into gear here. My driving skills are still terrible. This game's a lot of fun and the soundtrack kicks ass. So yeah, that's some Daytona on Techno Parrot. This game is great. Another game that's really, really cool that I really like is Dirty Driving. So let's go ahead and check this one out. So here we are here. We can go ahead and just select the track here. So this game is a fantastic arcade racing game. I don't know how many of you guys have heard of this from the arcades, but this game is a lot of fun. Ooh. When he tells you to yank the crank, you basically... You can kind of shake your wheel to the right to jerk the wheel and knock them off the track like that, which is pretty cool. Yanking the crank basically means that you have an item and it makes you yank the crank, so I have it mapped to the right-hand side here. Kind of has a feel of like Twisted Metal and stuff. It's really, really good. But yeah, that's a little bit of dirty driving there. And like I said, there's a bunch of other games on here, like Fast and Furious, and R-Tuned, and Sega Rally, Sonic Racing, the Batman game. But I don't want to make this video an hour long. You know, they're all really, really fun. I'll finish it off with some Outrun 2. My favorite game to play on this cabinet. It controls perfectly, and obviously it fits perfectly on this cabinet because now I feel like I have the Outrun Classics that are in the arcade section still that this machine actually came with. And now I actually have Outrun 2 as well, which is the newer version from Technoparrot. So here we are here, we select our car.
Enzo Ferrari.
We'll go ahead and do automatic for the time being, and I can do manual if I want to, with the shifter there.
Flashwave.
Get ready.
Alright, that's a little bit of Outrun for you. And that game is just fantastic on this cabinet, guys. It's a lot of fun. So that gives you an idea of what kind of games you guys can expect if you mod your Outrun with a PC and you want to play some arcade games on here besides what it came with. And you want to use Retro Lizard's Arcade's builds for racing if you want to just, you know, get the games and be set up quickly. That is what you guys can expect. Again, the link is in the description. And again, I modded this whole thing by following Kongs or Us's video on YouTube. That will also be linked down below. That's why I didn't go into detail on exactly how I modded it. It is pretty standard when it comes to actually you know, getting the PC working and stuff, just like other arcade mods that we've all done probably in the past at this point. You do need some separate things to get the pedals to work, of course, with a couple of wires that you need to extend from the actual pedals to the back. But again, Cons R Us did a great job of explaining that in his video, so I didn't need to fill his shoes in any way. So his link is in the description down below. And between both of that, guys, I'm really, really happy with this Outrun build now. You know, now I have all arcade racers on this build. You know, being limited on space, I wanted to have an arcade machine that kind of fit another role into this arcade machine like I talked about with you guys. Here right next to it is my NBA Jam that fits all my 4-player games. And right next to it now I have an Outrun machine that fits all of the arcade racers, you know, with an actual wheel, with a shifter and some pedals. And it makes the games a lot more fun to play. And I'm super, super happy to have this, especially the Techno-powered games. They're a lot of fun to play. So if you guys have any questions about anything you guys saw in today's video on either the games or, you know, the system or how something is working that I may not have talked about, leave those questions down below. If not, thank you guys for watching. Until next time.